Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about two vehicles that have been recently announced, and both I find very interesting in a way that I haven't found many announcements interesting in a long time. Plus, they're the only thing that anybody is talking about right now, and I need those clicks.
The Grid.
I hope you read the title, but if you didn't, they're the Tesla Cybertruck and the Mustang Mach-E. Now, these vehicles, they might have a little bit of a customer overlap. I don't think there's going to be a ton, but they kind of touch the same little spot in my brain that makes me go, ooh, that's something to talk about. As I'm talking about this, the Cybertruck was unveiled about 24 hours ago, and it's all abuzz with the people that like it, people that don't like it, people mocking the way it looks, people making dumb photoshops, including me. But beyond all that, I just want to talk about the truck's, possible capabilities, who might be interested in it, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. Basically, everything you'd expect. The big thing, first of all, is the look of the truck. It's certainly interesting. I'll give it that. Very wedge-shaped vehicle, kind of reminiscent of the original Countach, this like late 70s supercar design, but of course it's a truck. Not really the design I would have gone with. There's some very basic utility sacrifices I think that they're making going with that design. Just looking at the photos so far. The wedge shape, it tapers out at both ends. And it's a four-seater, which means that if you're sitting in the back seat, it seems like your head is going to be slamming into the ceiling, unless you're a child. So I guess it's for children. But from a driver's perspective, I would have gone with a more cab-over design for the pickup, which, in case you don't know, it's when the driver's seat is basically pushed directly on top of the front wheels. That's a common design for a lot of semis, some pickups throughout the years, but it makes a lot of sense with an electric vehicle because you don't have to worry about the big engine block taking up all this space. So you can basically put the driver's seat wherever you want in the vehicle. And they could have put the cab as forward as possible to maximize the bed space. Haven't really done that, which is odd to me personally. It's got a lot of wasted space. I feel like you've got back seats, and then it's got a tiny little bed in the back with the bed sides don't really come up that far, so you might have stuff flying out if you throw anything in there. There is a photo of it with a four-wheeler in the back of it, but that's pretty much the maximum of the space that we're dealing with. Unless they come out with a two-door version, but I don't know how that design is going to look. It's also unibody construction, so based on all these, it's not really a work truck. It's not going to compete with your F-250, your Ram Super Deluxe, whatever it's called, your GMC. It's not really a competitor to that. It's just for a person who might tow a small trailer, can put a four-wheeler in the back for the weekends. Not a lot of utility, so it might be more in line with a Honda Ridgeline, something like that. And I think in that case, the radical design kind of works because what Tesla does well is marketing, and they're probably going to market it to your Silicon Valley types, the people already buying Teslas anyway. So setting it far apart from something like an F-150 may have been a smart move. That's of course if it ever comes out with that design. I feel like this is not a road-going car. With a road-going version, they're probably going to have to make a lot of concessions on the shape of that body. I know the front end on the one that they showed off is a little rounded off, probably for pedestrian safety, but I don't feel like that roof is going to be structural enough for crash testing or any of that sort of thing. That is, of course, if the vehicle comes out at all, because what Tesla and Elon like to do is like to show off prototype concept vehicles and then pretend like they're right around the corner, and they never are. I mean, look at the Semi. It was supposed to come in spring of 2019. No sight of that. Then there was, of course, the Roadster, supposed to be a 2020 model. They still got some time to work on that. Then there was the Model Y they showed off. Never heard anything about that since. But, you know, it's kind of cool. Don't have a lot of faith that it's going to really come to fruition. Then there's the Mustang Mach-E, which is a electric crossover. It's got rear-wheel drive and four-wheel drive options. It's kind of in line with the Jaguar I-Pace. Not the E-Pace. I-Pace. That's the electric one. I'm pretty sure. The reason people are mad about the Mach-E, and really the reason anyone's talking about it, is because they called it a Mustang. And I think an electric Mustang, it's a smart move. It was really an inevitable move. I'd like to maybe see like a hybrid V8 GT500 somewhere in the near future, stuff like that. New electric models. But an electric crossover, four-door, with the Mustang badge on it, and the headlights and taillights kind of tacked on. Not the best move in my opinion. Pretty much the worst move, actually. An electric Mustang, cool. Even you know, a Mustang with a little bit of ground clearance, still cool. Four-door Mustang, not so cool. Four-door crossover Mustang, at least it's rear-wheel drive, or the base model is anyway. There's probably going to be a performance model that will be kind of impressive, but it's just, I know it's a marketing move. Like if they had called it the Explorer EV or whatever, like nobody would be talking about it in a week. So really it was the smartest thing that they could have done. But I'm afraid of the day that, you know, it might come a decade, it might be 20 years from now, when the Mustang is known as a crossover. That's all it will ever be. That's all it ever was, as far as the kids of 2050 are concerned. And that makes me a little bit sad, makes me feel like a big old boomer. But I'll get over it, I guess. I don't know. The design on this thing, not a fan, not a fan. Like, it literally looks like they just took a Mustang and just put it in like a big old stretcher and then they raised it up. They slapped two more doors on it. Not good design in my opinion. And you know, really any of the four doors that they've tried to make look like coupes, not good design. Not a fan. I'm not a fan of Ford's commitment to not making any small cars, to just making crossovers and SUVs and trucks, and now a Mustang crossover. It's almost like they're just eliminating all their history, but it's whatever. And I don't feel like electric crossovers are really the way to go. I mean, I guess they are in America because American companies don't want to sell small cars and they're convinced that people don't want to buy small cars. But me personally, I only really care about small electric cars like the Honda E. Really right now, the Honda E is the only electric car that I'd really consider buying, that I'd consider shelling out money for if I could stretch for it. But that thing doesn't even look like it's coming to the States. And that's a little depressing. But overall, I feel like electrification is maybe gonna breathe new life into the automotive industry, make things a little more interesting, because I feel like over the last decade, the companies have gotten lazy, putting out the same old crap. Some of it's been good, some of it's been crap, but even the good stuff is still kind of boring, honestly. Electrification can't come soon enough as far as I'm concerned. Actually, charging infrastructures that can support electric cars should come sooner than the cars themselves. But that's not happening. Bye, like, subscribe, social media. Check out these photos. You like photos? I like photos. I took all these photos.